Change gears and dive straight into our special capsule on the show called Zooming In. This week, we ask whether hyper-competition is forcing marketers to use questionable competitive practices. So Brand Equity spoke to 10 leading Indian marketers to find out if they are in agreement with this view. Listen in.
Hyper-competitive world, that is exactly it.
There are one or two cases.
Mostly no.
I don't think there are any questionable means.
I disagree with that. The phenomenon of marketers or advertisers using questionable practices, perhaps there are one or two cases, and maybe in some categories the battle is hard fought. So you get people doing spoofs, or people just downright making claims, or suing or taking another competitor to courts. That is happening to a very, very limited extent.
In a hyper-competitive world, that is exactly it, right? Companies, to survive, must do whatever they deem is right to survive. And the things that we are referring to really are in the advertising space, where at best brands are calling each other names or are setting out comparatives about which one is superior for what reason. I'm not sure any of that is questionable in any form or whatever. I think it's perfectly right for them to do whatever it takes to make sure that they have a fair chance at getting your attention.
I believe that the minute you use the word brand, you have to look at a long-term perspective. And in the long run, the shortcuts don't make any sense.
I disagree, because the responsible marketers don't do it, and where the irresponsible marketers are concerned, they've been doing it irrespective of competition.
A lot of criticalness is coming into the role of media also, and the overall exposure of information to consumers is much more than what it was in the previous days. So yes, of course, brands needs to be more clear in what they are communicating or what they are really delivering to the consumers. Of course, yes, I do agree to this.
I don't agree with that statement. I don't believe. I haven't, in my time in India, I haven't come across that, and certainly from Marks and Spencer perspective, I believe that our customers find trust very important.
Mostly no. We've seen a couple of times in FMCG as a category where the competition is pretty high, that there are certain questionable practices used. Often in other categories where the competition is not so tooth and nail, it's pretty much clean still.
I agree with that, partly though, because I think now the stakes have gone bigger because of the size of the markets and the economy. And I think there is a very clear distinction between what you are in terms of finances if you lose or if you win. So the stakes being so high, I think there is that ultra competitiveness which has crept in our system.
For me, depositioning somebody else, some other product, some other categories to position your own product and to position your own brand has always been, a strategic move by many organizations. We've seen that in FMCGs all the time. You see one oil bottle knocking some masked, product of somebody else, and it's something that has been happening all throughout. I don't think that is, that's being unethical.
I don't think there are any questionable means. All's fair in love and war. Usually you would notice that questions are only raised by people who lose in the marketplace.
Well, clearly that truth has been busted, as only 30% of the marketing fraternity are in agreement with that statement. And while you digest that, it's time for a quick breather. But up next, we bring you an emerging trend that's gathered momentum in 2011. We're talking about the emergence of independent cinema. Stay with us.